How's it going, guys? We are back on Dragon Ball Legends, and I've been seeing a lot of questions recently about Zenkai Awakening. We did release a video talking all about Zenkai Awakening, but it was almost 1 full year ago. So in this video, we're going to be talking all about Zenkai Awakening, how to do it, how to get the Rush medals, what the best way to do it is, free to play, pay to play, all that sort of good stuff as well. So make sure not to go anywhere, and let's jump into it.
So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Alright then, guys, so Zenkai Awakening is basically a way to make your characters even better than they are when you first pull them. You get additional stats, additional abilities, and all that sort of good stuff as well. There are 7 stages to Zenkai Awakening, and with soul boosting, as you go through the 7 stages, you get an extra panel that you can fully soul boost, which once again gives you additional stats and all that sort of good stuff. When you are going through the different levels of Zenkai Awakening, like I said, there's 7 in total. If you get to Zenkai 3, you unlock the 3rd Soul Boost panel, where you can unlock a brand new unique ability to the character, and the same with Zenkai 6 and the 6th Soul panel as well. In order to Zenkai Awaken your character, then you do need a couple of factors to be in play. So you need the Zenkai Awakening to actually have been released by the game. You need your character to be on a minimum of 7 stars, and once they are 7 stars, you can start gaining Awakening Z power to start going through the different Zenkai stages, all 7 of them. So make sure not to go anywhere. We're going to go through how to pay to play to do it, free to play to do it, and lots of different ways, and the best ways as well. If you haven't already, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So probably the quickest way to Zenkai Awakening your character once they are 7 stars and get that Awakening Z power is pay to play, of course, which you can do by, once you do have the character at 7 stars, you'll see these banners come in the Zenkai part, and you do get a single summon of 20 crystals a day, which we will actually do on this one to show you what it's sort of about. Or you can do multis of 1,000 crystals, and you can get a range of different Awakening Z powers through this. You can get 5, 10, I've even had, in certain circumstances, up to 1,500. Essentially, to go up 1 stage, you need 1,000 Awakening Z power, and it'll take you up 1 stage. So if you get 1,500, you go up 1 Zenkai stage and a half, essentially, as you can see there, gaining the Awakening Z power. So that's probably the quickest way, obviously pay to play, as you'd probably expect. But the more interesting ways are the free-to-play ways, and let's get into those. The first free-to-play way, and one of the newest ways to actually Zenkai Awaken your character, is you going through the Battle Gauntlet, which actually gives you Chrono Crystals. So I guess it's completely free-to-play this. So basically you go through a series of battles up to 100 stages, in case you haven't seen this before. You do have bonus battle characters, which I do recommend using. And as you go through the different stages, you get different Awakening Z power for the relevant character, and like I said, you also get Chrono Crystals as well, which is always a bonus. When you go into the battle, you can also skip through up to stage 70. So depending on how strong your team is and whether it's the bonus battle characters, things like that, you can skip through to 70. After that, you will have to play it, but you go up to stages 100. And I think in total, you should be able to Zenkai Awaken your character up to Zenkai 3 and or 4. I think, by doing all these stages. And there is another counterpart to this to get them even further up to the Zenkai 7 stage, which we'll take a look at now. Like I said, the counterpart is the mission. So looking at it, as you can see, I've completed some of the missions already. They're pretty easy, but there is one aspect that makes it sort of time bound a little bit, and that's completing the daily missions. You do have to complete daily missions up to, what is it, 14 times. So that means at the very least you do need to wait 14 days and complete all the missions. The rest of them are tournament and power related. There's some PvP, some hyper-dimensional co-op, all that sort of stuff, KO characters, which you'll probably complete a lot of these completing the Battle Gauntlet anyway, but then you'd have to carry it on ever so slightly after. So we are going to complete the ones that we've got already, so gets us 300 Awakening Z power. So that's one of the main ways and the newer ways to Zenkai Awaken your characters. But evidently this is for a limited time as well. It does go away. I believe it comes back as well, but as soon as it comes out, you want to complete it, even if your character's not a 7 stars yet, just in preparation. Okay, so there is another way that is free to play to Zenkai Awaken your characters, especially if you have missed the Battle Gauntlets and things like that. and that is by completing the Zenkai Ultra Space-Time Rush. I've seen loads of questions about this, and it's one of the main reasons I'm actually doing this updated version of this video. So let's jump into it, go through it, and see what Zenkais and all that sort of stuff you can do. Let's go. So at the time of recording this, we have actually had the Zenkai Ultra Space-Time Rush around for quite a while, but some of you may not know anything about this. So let's go over it, why not anyway. So you get different rushes, and within the rushes, basically, you have to go through a series of fights to complete all the sort of missions, which, bearing in mind, you want to be having a look at the trials and completing them to get max points as well. So you go through the different fights, get as much points as you possibly can, and in relation to the actual points that you get different rewards. So for getting 2,000 points, which is max points, like I said, completing all the trials and all the fights and winning through them all, you do get these Zenkai Rush medals, which I have seen a lot of people asking how to get them, because they are very important for Zenkai Awakening. And for the other points and things, you get normal rush medals as well, which gives you extra stuff. Let's have a little look in the shop and see what we can use with these medals. So once you go into the shop, then you can see with these Zenkai Rush medals, you can actually buy 100 Zenkai Awakening Z power for 1 medal, which is pretty good. In case you haven't realised or you don't notice throughout this as well, for the LF characters, by the looks of it, you can get up to 2,000 Awakening Z power per period, and then for just normal characters that are Zenkai Awakening, you can only get up to 1,500 Awakening Z power, doing it 15 times in total. So like I said, this is per period, so if we bring this open, the periods are roughly around 2 to 3 weeks, I think it is. So we've got from the 14th of September to the 28th of September. So collect all your medals through that, and then you can use it then. Once the period is over and there's a brand new period coming, then all of these do get refreshed. So you can do this over a long period of time and just slowly build up all your Zenkai Awakening characters, which is what I do. Build up on ones that I don't really use, but I do want them fully Zenkai'd and all that sort of stuff as well, just for the sort of thing for the video. For the rare medals, or the rush medals, you can also get lots of other stuff in here, like I said. You can also get some Awakening Zenkai Awakening Souls, which are very handy and very useful, because where we were talking a bit earlier about the soul panels, these are the souls that you do need. So we'll go over a little bit about how to get these souls throughout the video as well. But ultimately, they're the main ways to get the Awakening Z power, so you can get your characters up to Zenkai 7. With all that, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and we're going to go through how to get different ways to get the souls and things, so you can make sure to fully soul boost them as well. Let's keep going. So looking a little bit more into the souls and the soul panels, once you fully Zenkai Awaken your character, granted this Gohan's only Zenkai Awakened 5 and I haven't got all the soul boosts yet, but it's good for an example to show you. So once you have Zenkai Awaken, you get extra panels and all this sort of stuff as well, and you can open them up by awakening the core. By doing that just throughout. We're going to open that just for the benefit of now, so you can see you do need Awakening Souls as well. If you click on how to get, it shows you different ways to get these, but I'm going to go through some quick and easier ways to get some souls, just to get you started and all that sort of stuff. So let's have a little look, because it does take a lot of souls to actually fully soul boost someone. So if we go like that, it takes a lot of these souls just to do one sort of side. You've got 488 of Soul 3 and 735 Soul 4, and that's because we're on the soul panel of the 4th one, basically. So we'll awaken and boost this just because why not? We saw the power go up a little bit. Let's have a little look and see how to get these souls, or the best ways to do it at the very least. So I'm not going to go through how to get the normal Zenkai souls, because I think you should all probably have an idea how to do that at the moment, but it's the bonus battles. I've already done mine today, but you've got a Zenkai bonus battle, which you can do up to 3 times a day. I recommend doing that. You don't get a lot of souls, you get between 100 to 200 for each of the souls, between 1 to 7, but doing this day by day, it does build up your soul reserves and all that sort of stuff, so I highly recommend that. But if you do need them in a bit of a rush, let's have a little look at other ways. They do sometimes release other events where it'd be quite beneficial, but if you, like I said, if you need it quickly, the exchange shop is probably the best way to get them. Like I said, you do have limited things that come out, like for instance you've got the Powerful Opponent campaign at the moment, which does give you the ability to buy some Zenkai souls, so I fully take advantage of that. But they're not all the ways around, to be fair, so there is other ways which you can get through the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush and using the Rush medals as we went through earlier. But you can also get some through Z medals, which are very handy, and we do have a video on the channel how to get them as well. So you can use a lot of these to get Zenkai souls, which is one of my main ways to do it. Like I say, it's quite handy to do it quickly. The other main way that I do it is either soul exchange medals. Once again, I would highly recommend using these just for your Zenkai souls. I do sort of store them up just in case I do need them later down the line. But we've also got, like I said, the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush, which is the other way that I do it, basically, spending these rush medals and whatnot. But so there are a couple of good ways to get extra souls. Hopefully you guys know a lot more about Zenkai Awakening now, how to do it, where to get your souls, where to get the Zenkai Z Awakening power, all that sort of good stuff. And like I said, I've seen a lot of questions about these medals, how to get them, so hopefully you know how to do that as well. If you guys got some value out of this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And we are aiming for 3K by the end of the year, so like I said, I do appreciate it. And jump onto our social medias, why not? Especially if you guys want to ask any other questions, see any other videos or anything like that. Jumping onto, especially for instance, the Discord, where you can ask directly and things, always beneficial. But anyway guys, like I said, hopefully that did help, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Ciao.